The story takes place in the year 2347, roughly 200 years after humanity's first contact with alien civilizations. Humanity has established itself as a mid-tier spacefaring species, controlling a modest cluster of systems near the galactic rim. The galaxy is dominated by the Confederation of United Worlds, a massive alliance of over 400 species that maintains peace through superior technology and numbers. Main characters: Captain Jake Morrison, commander of the human warship Valiant, a seasoned veteran in his late 40s with 20 years of experience in the Terran Defense Fleet. Pragmatic, calm under pressure, and deeply protective of his crew. Lieutenant Commander Lisa Bradford, the Valiant's executive officer and tactical specialist, brilliant strategist in her mid-30s who thinks several moves ahead in any engagement. Chief Engineer Danny Walsh, a resourceful engineer in his early 40s who can repair anything with limited resources and thinks outside conventional parameters. Dr. Helen Carter, the ship's chief medical officer and xenobiologist, late 30s, who understands both human physiology and the biological weaknesses of various alien species. Ensign Kevin Brooks, young helmsman, mid-20s, exceptional pilot with lightning reflexes and unconventional maneuvering skills. Commander Marcus Grant, admiral of the Terran Defense Fleet, operates from Terra Command, strategic mastermind who coordinates humanity's military responses. The Zalnari Dominion, the primary antagonists, a reptilian warrior race that has conquered 17 star systems in the past decade. They view humans as weak and primitive, suitable only for subjugation or elimination. Their military doctrine emphasizes overwhelming force and shock tactics. The Confederation of United Worlds, the galactic peacekeeping alliance that includes hundreds of species. They maintain strict rules of engagement and diplomatic protocols that often prevent decisive military action. The story opens with the human colony world of New Haven coming under attack by Zalnari forces. The Zalnari, emboldened by their recent conquests, view the isolated human world as an easy target. Captain Jake Morrison and the Valiant respond to the distress call, arriving to find the colony's defenses crumbling under the assault of 3 Zalnari warships. The Valiant engages the enemy despite being outnumbered. The battle is brutal, and Morrison's crew fights with determination, using clever tactics to damage 2 of the Zalnari ships. However, the enemy's superior firepower forces the Valiant into a defensive position. The Zalnari commander, war leader Kreth, contacts Morrison and demands unconditional surrender, threatening to glass the colony if the humans don't comply. Morrison refuses. He orders his crew to execute a desperate maneuver, using the planet's gravity well and a precisely timed weapons barrage to destroy 1 Zalnari ship and cripple another. The 3rd ship retreats, but not before Kreth sends out a priority message to Zalnari High Command, calling for reinforcements to crush the primitive humans who dared to resist. The Valiant manages to evacuate most of New Haven's population before withdrawing. Morrison reports the situation to Commander Marcus Grant at Terra Command. Grant analyzes the intercepted Zalnari communications and realizes with growing concern that the Zalnari aren't just sending a small task force. They're assembling an armada of over 50 warships, enough to overwhelm Earth's outer defenses and strike at humanity's core worlds. Grant convenes an emergency meeting with the Terran Defense Council. The situation is dire. Humanity has 23 warships in total, scattered across their territory. Even if they concentrate their entire fleet, they'll be outnumbered more than 2 to 1 by an enemy with superior firepower. The politicians debate diplomatic options. Some suggest appealing to the Confederation for protection. Others propose attempting negotiations with the Zalnari. Grant shuts down both suggestions. The Confederation's bureaucracy would take months to authorize military intervention, and the Zalnari have never once honored a treaty with species they consider inferior. Grant proposes something that makes the council members uncomfortable. He suggests invoking Protocol 7, a contingency plan developed decades ago but never implemented. The council members are hesitant, understanding the implications, But as reports come in of Zalnari fleet movements, they realize they have no choice. The vote passes narrowly. Meanwhile, Morrison and the Valiant join up with 5 other human warships at the Arcturus Defense Station. Lisa Bradford analyzes the tactical situation and briefs the assembled captains. The math is simple and brutal. Even with perfect coordination, they can't win a conventional engagement against 50 Zalnari warships. The Zalnari armada arrives at the edge of human space, confident and aggressive. War leader Kreth has been given overall command, eager to avenge his earlier defeat. He sends a message to all human worlds, demanding total surrender within 12 hours or face annihilation. The message is intercepted and broadcast across multiple channels, ensuring the Confederation monitors it too. Grant's response is carefully worded. He rejects the ultimatum and warns Kreth that humanity will defend itself with all available means. Kreth laughs at what he perceives as empty bravado from a weak species. He orders his fleet forward. What neither the Zalnari nor most of the galaxy knows is that humanity has been hiding the full extent of its military capabilities. For the past century, human leadership has carefully cultivated an image of being a peaceful, mid-tier power, concealing advanced weapons development programs and strategic reserves. The reason for this deception runs deep in human history. Humanity learned from its own blood-soaked past that appearing weak often prevents conflict, while displaying overwhelming strength invites challenges from those seeking to prove themselves. By appearing vulnerable, humanity avoided becoming a priority target while quietly building up devastating capabilities. As the Zalnari fleet advances, Grant activates Protocol 7. Across human space, hidden installations power up. Weapons platforms that were registered as mining stations reveal their true nature. Civilian transports shed their disguises to expose advanced warships. Stealth ships that have been shadowing potential threats for years receive attack authorizations. The Terran Defense Fleet doesn't number 23 ships. It numbers over 200, with technology decades ahead of what humanity has publicly displayed. The ships that have been visible were obsolete models kept in service specifically to maintain the deception. Morrison receives encrypted orders and access codes that unlock new capabilities on the Valiant. Danny Walsh nearly has a heart attack when he accesses the ship's real specifications. The Valiant isn't just a destroyer. It's a heavy cruiser with experimental weapons, advanced shields, and engine capabilities that exceed anything the Zalnari possess. The Zalnari fleet enters the Arcturus system expecting token resistance. Instead, they find themselves surrounded by human warships that appear seemingly from nowhere. Decloaking from stealth systems, the Zalnari didn't know humans possessed. Kreth's confidence evaporates as his sensors register ship profiles that don't match any known human designs. The battle that follows is brutal and one-sided, but not in the direction Kreth anticipated. Human ships move with precision and coordination that speaks to years of training and preparation. Their weapons slice through Zalnari shields as if they weren't there. Advanced electronic warfare systems blind Zalnari sensors and turn their own missiles back on them. Morrison's tactical team, led by Lisa Bradford, executes maneuvers that seem impossible. Kevin Brooks pilots the Valiant through the enemy formation with inhuman precision, threading between Zalnari ships while the Valiant's weapons systematically dismantle them. Danny Walsh pushes the engines beyond their theoretical limits, providing power for sustained combat that should be impossible for a ship of the Valiant's apparent class. As the Zalnari armada begins to fall apart, Kreth makes a fatal decision born of desperation and arrogance. He sends out a priority distress call to the Confederation, claiming that humans are using illegal weapons and committing war crimes. He calls for immediate Confederation intervention, believing that the galaxy's peacekeeping force will stop the humans and possibly even turn against them. Kreth doesn't realize he's made a catastrophic miscalculation. He's done exactly what humanity was hoping an aggressive enemy would eventually do: invited Confederation oversight while humanity was operating in clear self-defense against an overwhelming threat. The Confederation responds by dispatching observers and a peacekeeping fleet. What they find shocks the galaxy. The Confederation observers arrive to find the Zalnari armada in full retreat, with human forces systematically destroying any ship that doesn't withdraw immediately. The humans aren't committing atrocities. They're executing a flawlessly coordinated military operation with a level of sophistication that most Confederation species can't match. The real horror, from the galaxy's perspective, isn't that humans have advanced weapons. It's the realization of what humanity has been hiding and why. As Confederation analysts review the battle data and human military records, a terrifying picture emerges. Humanity spent its entire pre-spaceflight history perfecting the art of warfare. While most species had a single global conflict before achieving unity, humans fought thousands of wars. They developed strategies, tactics, and weapons with a dedication that bordered on obsession. They created military theory so advanced that it formed entire academic disciplines. When they finally achieved spaceflight, they didn't abandon this knowledge. They refined it. The Confederation also discovers that Protocol 7 isn't humanity's full military capability. It's a middle-tier response designed for regional threats. There are additional protocols, each corresponding to threat levels of increasing severity. Protocol 7 was sufficient for the Zalnari. The galaxy doesn't want to imagine what Protocol 1 would look like. Dr. Helen Carter becomes an unexpected spokesperson when she's interviewed by Confederation media. She calmly explains human philosophy. We don't want war. We've seen where that leads. But we learned long ago that the best way to avoid war is to be so thoroughly prepared for it that no one wants to fight us. We spent a century appearing weak because that kept us safe. The Zalnari took that appearance as reality. They forgot to ask why a species as weak as us colonized so successfully in a dangerous galaxy. The Zalnari sue for peace, their dominion's expansion permanently halted. The war ends not with humanity's defeat, but with the Zalnari accepting extremely disadvantageous terms dictated by Commander Grant. The Zalnari will withdraw from all contested systems, pay reparations, and accept Confederation monitoring to prevent future aggression. But the real consequences play out across the galaxy. The Confederation holds emergency sessions to debate humanity's place in the galactic order. Some species argue for sanctions or containment. Others suggest bringing humans into the Confederation's military command structure. Grant addresses the Confederation Council directly via quantum link. His speech is measured and carefully constructed. We hid our capabilities not out of malice, but out of pragmatism. History taught us that appearing strong invites conflict with those who want to test themselves against strength. Appearing weak invited aggressors like the Zalnari. We chose the lesser evil and prepared to defend ourselves when the inevitable occurred. We don't want to conquer. We don't want to subjugate. We want to live in peace, but we will never again be vulnerable. The Confederation realizes they have a problem. They can't force humanity to disarm because humanity hasn't violated any laws. Earth's colonies and human ships were attacked first, making this a clear case of self-defense. Moreover, attempting to force humanity to do anything might trigger whatever other protocols humanity has prepared. The galaxy discovers that the weak humans have made themselves virtually unassailable. Over the following months, a new equilibrium emerges. Humanity maintains its true military strength openly now, having abandoned the deception that served its purpose. Other species treat humans with a mixture of respect and wariness. Some smaller civilizations quietly request defensive pacts with Earth, viewing humans as more trustworthy protectors than the bureaucratic Confederation. Morrison and the crew of the Valiant receive commendations but no public recognition, as much of humanity's military structure remains classified. They return to patrol duties, but now they operate with their ship's full capabilities active. Lisa Bradford notes the irony. We fought to stay hidden for a century, and now we're famous for being dangerous. I'm not sure that's better. Danny Walsh disagrees. It's better because now nobody will make the mistake of attacking us thinking we're easy prey. The Zalnari learned that lesson. The whole galaxy learned it. The final scene shows a Confederation strategic assessment meeting. Various species representatives discuss the new galactic reality. An elder diplomat from one of the Confederation's founding species provides the concluding observation. We thought we knew what humanity was. A young species, eager to join the galactic community. We were half right. They wanted to join, but they were never young. They brought with them 10,000 years of warfare, refined and perfected. The Zalnari called for backup, thinking it would save them. Instead, they revealed the galaxy's true horror, that humanity has been preparing for war the entire time we thought they were seeking peace. And the most terrifying part, they're telling the truth when they say they don't want war. Imagine what they could do if they did. The story closes with a wide shot of Earth, peaceful and blue, orbited by defenses that are now only partially visible. The rest remain hidden, waiting. The deception is over, but the preparation continues. Humanity has revealed itself not as the weak species the galaxy assumed, but as something far more dangerous. A species that perfected the art of warfare over millennia, and then had the discipline to hide that capability until absolutely necessary. The enemy called for backup, and in doing so, unleashed the galaxy's true horror. Humanity, fully armed and utterly prepared, defending its right to exist among the stars.